up, we have the afternoon group. And the speaker of the afternoon group is Jake Seld, chosen for his ability to do wheelchair races in the clinical one orientation. No, just kidding. Jake has a zest for life, and I knew when I saw him doing that he'd do a great job representing his cohort here. Come on up, Jake.
This a little bit. Hello everyone. Hello class of 2025. Oh, that feels good. Yes. This is about us today. This is all about us. Yes. Thank you all for being here, and thank you everyone in Hawks Landing. We have not forgotten about you. Thank you for being here as well. Thank you for being here to celebrate this great accomplishment with us. I think that what makes this so tremendous is that some of us didn't know that we were going to make it here along the way. So many obstacles, trials, and tribulations. I remember I was ready to quit after the first exam that I failed in fundamentals with Joel. How was I supposed to know that it was going to be on fluids and electrolytes, acid and base, when I thought it was going to be all about his top 10 Ferris Bueller impressions? Right. So that day, I went home and I called my mom because I was all riled up, and I said, "Mom, I got a big fat F on that first exam. I'm gonna drop out and I'm gonna become a combat medic in the military." Okay. And of course, she said, Jake, just calm down, settle down, go out with your friends, take a breath of fresh air. I think she said have a beer, maybe. We are gonna tackle this tomorrow. You and I are gonna look at what you did wrong, and we're gonna look at how you can improve. Now, I thought she was just pulling me off the ledge, but clever as she is, there was a plan in place. She was planting that seed that, yes, I might have failed, I might have screwed up and fallen short, but I could persist through it. There was always something I could do after the fact to better myself. So, classmates, I invite you to look back and think of a time that you fell short and it hurt. It was a big deal. Maybe you fell short on an assignment. You didn't do as well as you wanted. Maybe you missed a big deadline. Maybe you also failed the first fundamentals exam, like I did. Yeah. See that? Yeah, there we go. And to those of you who are looking back and you can't think of a time where you fall short and you failed, well, Sarah taught us in semester 3, that's called a repressed memory. That's gonna come back later. That's gonna come back to haunt you, okay? Just give it time. Yeah, but as we stand here at the summit of our achievement, we look back at those little shortcomings and they really seem insignificant. It's funny how some distance makes everything seem small. The fears that once controlled me can't get to me at all. Alyssa, you inspired me right there. For those of you who don't know what just happened there, go watch the movie Frozen. And for those of you who do know what just happened there, you know that Elsa was figuring out her powers. It was really scary. It was hard to understand. But what I didn't realize the first time I watched that movie was she was also talking about us and our nursing superpowers, our super skilled nursing powers. And I'm not just talking about the ability to witness mechanical life being brought into the world by Jackie's baby making simulator. Danny, you remember that. Or maybe it's a repressed memory. And I'm also not talking about being able to complete a med pass with 20 observers breathing down your neck, charting your every movement. No, I am talking about our special nursing ability to make mistakes, to fail, and then recognize them and be better for it. That is the point of this speech. I'm gonna hammer it in, folks, okay? So, I'm gonna take you all back for a little story. It was cardiac week, simulation with Danny, Aaron, and Jackie. Oh yeah, I was stoked for this week, cardiac week. It was so cool that the week prior I went up to Erin and I said, Erin, can I please be the RN? I really want to. And she said, Jake, are you sure? I should have known then what we were all getting ourselves into there. But I doubled down and I said, Erin, I really want to be the RN. So sure enough, the roles came out and we each had our role, and we spent that week diligently completing our role worksheets, didn't we? Yeah. And I was so ready. I looked at the DocuCare. I was like, oh yeah, EKG, STEMI coming in, give her the nitroglycerin, Mona Bash, thrombins 2. If Chris was here, he'd love that, thrombins 2. And so the day came, the nerves before simulation, making sure you got your stuff in order, you got your plan. And we walked into that room, and I got my debrief, and I looked at Clara. I won't tell you the patient name, not because I forgot it, but HIPAA. I looked at Clara, and I looked at Alyssa, her loved one, and I was so ready for it. I did my assessment. I was looking at her. She was hyperventilating like nobody's business, right? Those SpO2 sats were real, okay? And all of a sudden, just like that, she fell unconscious. But we had prepared. We had a code team in place. Call the code, grab the crash cart, bring everybody in, and thanks to Dr. Ernest guiding us through this harsh time, tensions were high. We started compressions, we started breaths. We were looking, is it time to give the epinephrine? The recorder said no, 49 more seconds. Okay, we're looking, we're waiting, analyze the rhythm. Is it a shockable rhythm? Yes, it is. You're clear, I'm clear, everybody's clear. But she wasn't back. No, she wasn't back. We repeated that cycle for what felt like an hour, was probably more like 10 minutes, and that's when they brought the loved one back in the room. We had lost the patient. She had died. All of a sudden, everything began to feel very cold, like life had left the room. But simulation was still on, and as nurses, we have a job to do. So we continued our post-mortem cares. We took everything off of Clara. We pulled the curtain. And as we were tying the tag around her toe, Jackie said, "That's it, that's Tim, everybody." What? Then why does it still feel so cold? Why does it still hurt so bad? I walked out into the hallway that day and I wept. As tears were rolling down my cheek, Clara was alive and well, wiping the adhesive off of her arms, taking off her makeup, but I still sat in the hallway and cried. Thankfully, at that moment, Erin and Jackie knew what was going on, and so they came up to me and they reminded me, "Jake, this is what it's all about. This simulation is real." I didn't have to suspend my disbelief at all. I was in disbelief. How could this hurt me so bad? I know that it was not real, but it was real. And they said, "You need to take care of yourself. Brush that off. Brush that off." Because, folks, that is the world that we are entering. We are inviting emotional calamity into our lives. We will create connection with people, and we will lose that connection even quicker. So, after a little lesson that they taught me, and a rather heavy anecdote that I just laid upon you all, I would like to take a moment to debrief and talk about what was just said. There is a moral to this story, I promise. I want you all to know that through your own hard work, your own self-care and your understanding, along with instruction from teachers and mentors, and support from the family and friends that you brought here, and the family and friends you meet along the way, each of us has built a virtuous, fortified core inside of us that will withstand the arduous tests of life and the tests of nursing. So, now, today, we will all turn the page of our respective book of life to the next chapter. And I wish to remind you that no matter the difficulties that you face when you walk out that door, whether they are changes in your personal life, changes in your career paths, or just changes in your environment, that if you can muster confidence in the virtue of your beliefs and in the firmness of your purpose, that those changes will crash like waves at your feet as you stand tall. So, class of 2025, seek changes, seek challenges, and grow into the best people that you can be. Thank you, future nurses. Thank you, faculty and staff. Thank you, family and friends. And most of all, thank you for choosing LSC. And I will now welcome up the evening cohort.